We're going to talk about kickoffs next. And the famous one, Carroll versus Harragon. We'll show you that. But we've gone back into the archives. Here's a Peter Sterling preview of the big clash between Newcastle and Manly from 1995.
29.
The minor premiership may ride on the result of this top-of-the-table clash, but both coaches refuse to give tonight's match grand final billing.
People like yourself pose those questions to people like myself and other coaches, you know, on the eve of such games. But the fact is that it's another run into the semis.
You know, win or lose, the key end to the season will be the playoffs.
Last Sunday, the Seagulls suffered their first loss at the hands of the Roosters and a finger-pointing Phil Gould, while last year's game at Marathon was anything but friendly.
Paul Harragon and Terry Hill.
Tonight, Terry Hill returns from a 2-week suspension for headbutting, ready to take on Newcastle's Jamie Ainscough. Paul Harragon is one of the Knights walking wounded, while Mark Carroll has an injured knee, but both props have been past fit and are keen for a head-on clash.
No, those individual confrontations only add to the spice of the game.
I think it's going to be one of the forwards, and it's going to be up to myself and Dave Gillespie to lead our pack around and take on the Newcastle pack.
Newcastle is undefeated at home this year, and a win tonight would give them a share of the competition lead. But Manly have won before in front of a hostile Marathon crowd, so I am tipping the Seagulls. While later tonight, I favour the Western Reds. Tomorrow, the Bulldogs, North and the Gold Coast to win, while on Sunday, St George, Brisbane, the Roosters, the Warriors and Canberra in Nine's match of the day. Peter Sterling, National 9 News.
Great stuff, Sterlo.
Master.
How good. I want to watch that game tonight.
Those games were brutal. They were so brutal.
So, Chief...
They used to tee off on Chief. And then every scrum, here it is here. Oh. Just let's...
Are we trying to get the kick-off banned? Boom.
Oh!
So, have you got any inside stories about this?
So, look, they hated each other in camp, they hated each other everywhere. It was always hostile. Anyway, the trainer comes on and they go, Chief, you're off. And he goes, just give me one tackle. And he looks at me, I think we're kicking away from Spud. And he goes to me, kick to Spud, kick to him. And then, so whatever Chief said, I did. And then that happened. Should have heard the noise.
Oh, so skull on skull.
Mate, every scrum, Chief and Butsy and Spud and Cement, they just...
They were still headbutting each other in those days.
The headbutts in the scrum, oh, it was awful, that noise.
Yeah.
But that noise, that hit, was just, it was like nothing I've heard before on the field.
Oh.
So it was 95, yeah. So that culminated in, the end result from that rivalry was the 97 grand final. And previous to 97, we hadn't beat them in 13 games.
Is that right?
Yeah. They were...
Oh, they had a gun side.
See this one here. This
so
kick-off.
These are some great kick-offs that you can remember.
These are the ones that stand out. This one, I don't know if we got a high shot. Anyway, we kicked off there. Oh. Shane Webke got the ball, and Bedsy hit him on the try line, and then Rico went bang, and then Timo went bang, and then everyone. So I kicked off, and it landed, and when it landed and bounced. And
here we go. Oh,
here's another one.
This is Dallas Johnson getting cleaned up.
Well, there's for people saying they have to go low. You got to go low on people.
Oh my God.
He come back on.
No? Yeah. Everyone's saying you got to tackle low. That's what happens when you tackle low. You get knees and hips. But that one before with Webby, so I kicked off. As soon as the boys hit him, I was like, they're not beating us. There's no way they're beating us. It was a real sign early on.
This is so good.
Don't ban the kick-off.
2002 prelim, Fred.
No. I'm not here to ban the kickoff. I love the kickoff.
Simon Benetti.
I used to.
And Petro cleans him up with a boot.
And there's one head you don't want to collide with. Oh, that was awful.
I used to stand there at the back of the field with Adrian Morley.
Oh,
and
look at his head.
There was just a period there where you get a minute with the front row before they're about to toe that run.
When he was running?
When they were running, yeah.
What would you be saying?
He just
winded him up.
He was that easy to wind up. And he would just run straight as possible. He had no footwork. And once again, you just say, mate, you need to set the standard for the whole game. It was such a big moment of the game.
They are big moments, aren't they?
Huge moments.
You can set the standard of the game.
The biggest moment in Origin all series is the kick-off for game one.
Yeah.
I mean, even calling Origin now, that's the moment you think about.
And then you watch the crowd, all the lights, all the cameras, everyone's cameras on, taking photos. Boosh.
Is that the grand final? Yeah.
You know what, though? It needs to be debated. You need to get ideas from coaches. You need to speak to players. Find out if there's better solutions, because at some stage, someone's going to try to sue the game.
Well, don't play.
Well, I'm with you, mate. Everyone loves this
Oh,
moment.
look at this
Oh,
moment.
there he is.
Everyone loves this
Well, this is
moment of
folklore.
the game.
It's the biggest folklore.
But there's,
We wouldn't have got the John Sattler coming down on
You've
the
got to
field
remember,
for
though,
that.
there's another 400, 500 play the ball, so it's not the only part of the game.
That's right.
So it's not the only part of the game. It's a great part of the game, and everyone who's involved in it loves that part of the game, but it's not the only part.
Did I hear a stat that it's about 3-point-something% of that's where the concussions come from?
I don't know.
Kickoff.
But to your point there are other collisions within the game. If we erode the kickoff, then it's only a matter of time before you start eroding into those other collisions.
No. There just needs to be, I think, duty of care. And at the moment, I think you just need to find out percentages, and you just need to take a breath and go, righto, is there a way that you can...
Well, then you can't.
Does this need to actually be looked at, or can we do something about it?
How come the collisions off a long dropout aren't similar? Do you think because there's less intensity?
Maybe because...
It doesn't seem to be 3 guys going in at force off a long dropout. Like a lot of teams go short now.
I think maybe
But I
because
can't
it's
remember off a dropout.
a bit more unpredictable where the ball lands.
Yeah, you're not,
Like when you're kicking off, it's easier to kick to a spot than to
True,
drop
yeah.
out to a spot, isn't it? Maybe that, you know...
sometimes you're 15 minutes, 20 minutes into a game as well,
Well, when you go back to Chief and Spuds, theirs wasn't at the start of the game.
No.
Anyway, let's talk about Chief and Spud. So, what about an Origin camp?
No, there was always...
On the New South Wales props didn't really get on.
I can remember a time when we were in a team meeting and I was at lunch or breakfast and I was sitting with Spud, and anyway we started laughing, and then I looked over and Chief just staring at me.
Oh, because she's laughing with Spud.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
There was always frostiness.
What about in the lead-in to the game, Newcastle Manly? Like, was
They were
Chief on edge?
they're a very antagonising team, Manly were.
You're not wrong.
Let's put it politely.
With Bozo, coach.
Terry. You had Craig Fields, mate. You had some blokes out there. Hopper.
Matthew
Ridge. There was that much lip going on.
Terry Hill, God bless him. Was Chief, was a bit of extra, was he a bit tense?
Yeah. Chief was intense. Chief, the longer the camp got, closer to the game, that's when Chief...
But, when he was playing for Newcastle and you're playing Manly coming up.
Oh, you got no idea. You got no idea.
Mate, front rows back in the day were mad.
I think they still are, aren't they?
Butsy was the mad one.
Butsy was mad. Mate, we had Jason Lowry, Terry Hermanson. Mate, Canberra had Quinton Pongia and Lomax.
Johnny Lomax.
Mate.
Quinton Pongia.
Andrew G and who was the
Quinton Pongia.
Jed Allen.
Gavin Allen.
Mate, front rows were mad.
Quinton
M-A-D.
Pongia, the things he used to say to me at every scrum. And he used to call me boy. I'm going to get you, boy. I'm going to do this to you, this to you. Anyway.
Yes, Daddy.
Honestly, and Quinton Pongia was scary.
Scary.
He going to the Roosters.
He come to the Roosters.
So anyway, 8 years after it's first started, we're playing a test match. Might have been that test match in England where we got them in golden extra time.
That was
anyway.
95.
We kicked off. Well, don't ban the kickoff. And he picked me and charged. And I'm like, right, now or never. And it just dropped and gone douche. And hit him about there and lifted him. And ended up on top of him. And I went, no more boy. And he went, no more boy.
How good's that?
So that wouldn't have happened if they banned the kickoff.
Oh, that's all time.
The boogeyman wouldn't have stopped boogieing me. Jeez, he was tough. We lost him a couple of years ago too, cancer.
Terrible.
Well, he was a good player.
This year, NRL on 9 is your one-stop shop for all footy.
That's right, Freddie. Not about the highlights. Action. 7 days a week.
Billy and Gus podcast, get that on your drive on the way home. Immortal Behaviour. Grab a seat on the couch for that. And, of course, my favourite, Freddy the Eighth.
The best footy brains, the biggest games.
Don't trust the algorithm. Subscribe to NRL on 9 and get all your entertainment there.